What's good, Plumboro? I'm Drew Bartow.
I'm Mike Devine.
And together we are Sour Plums. We aim to entertain and educate more than 3 Plum residents by debating some of the trending topics in the borough, from school board and council happenings to business openings, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. Welcome to the Sour Plums podcast, friends. So let's open this night up, Mike, with a little bit of a rewind to last week, or last episode, I guess. And we really discussed who would win eating one hot dog and running a 100-meter race between Usain Bolt and Joey Chestnut. And I think it was pretty unanimous, our feedback, other than maybe Alan. I think we both kind of shared the sentiment of the community this week in that Joey Chestnut would dominate, right? Is that what we feel?
Hands down. It's in my mind, it's no question.
I don't know if we were talking about it or somebody, I think on our page mentioned it, or maybe in a group chat somewhere mentioned that you and I should have that competition. And do you think that's going to happen?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a competition. It'll be an ass kicking, but I'm all in.
You're that confident. So, Mike, why do you think you'll beat me hands down? Well, give me an ass kicking, as you said.
I mean, just pure athleticism, I think, is where it starts. But also
athleticism?
I mean, listen, my nickname in high school was the athlete. I don't know why, but it was. And yeah, but when it comes to eating hot dogs, I can put a glizzy down like nobody's business.
Well, my nickname in high school was Flash, and I probably shouldn't have admitted that, but it was. It was because I was fast at base running in baseball. I was an athlete too, Mike. And I got to tell you, do I think you'll beat me at the hot dog portion of the contest? I do. Do I think you'll beat me in the 100-meter? I do not. And this is coming from a guy who hasn't ran in 25 years.
So I'll say this. From the time I was about 25, when I started to put some weight on, till about 35, when I started to slow down, I'm pretty confident in saying that pound for pound, I might have been the fastest man on earth.
On earth. That's so outrageous. All right, we're going to make this happen. We're gonna take friendly wagers. Maybe do something for charity. How about that? That'd be a great idea, right? Something for charity?
That'd be awesome. The Mustang Foundation. Mustang Foundation is a good one.
There you go. Plum Mustang Foundation. We'll talk about that, but I do want to ask you what you're drinking tonight, Mike. I hope you're not going light on me.
No, I have Tullamore Dew. It's an Irish whiskey. I don't think I've ever actually had this one, so this is my first sip. I'm pretty excited about it.
Very good. I'm having the Lustra IPA from Dancing Gnome, and if any of those gnomes want to stop dancing for a minute to sponsor our podcast, we welcome that. I buy their beer regularly at Salute. Also not a sponsor, but they could be.
But we
if
are
you're listening, Salute. Reach out to us. Yeah.
We're pro gnomes and pro Salute, so if you want to, give us a call.
Very pro gnomes.
Before you go into that, I just want to point out our awesome producer Alan is not here now. He's missing. Kind of a slacker tonight, but we'll give him a pass. He will be joining us at some point, but just want to point out he's not here.
So people are going to have to deal with just the two of us for now.
Right, for now.
But we have a great show ahead. We've got 3 guests tonight, and I'm excited about it. Just a quick preview. Riley Stephans, a sophomore at Plum, and then softball and basketball. And we also have Jaime Caliguiri and John Kraemer, who won our Pirates Wins contest, and they're on the episode later for the blind ranking, so that'll be really exciting. But Mike, you want to talk about our newest sponsor?
I do. Millie's, we've been putting them out on our Facebook page, and Millie's Pizza down on 286 Golden Mile Highway. I reached out to her to let her know that we would love a pizza sponsor, and she was all over it. So she actually said she was redoing the menu, gave us 2 menu items. We just tasted them. They're awesome. I'll let you introduce the first one if you want.
Sure, yeah. We have the DBLT. If you've listened to this show, my love for BLTs, and for whatever reason, the fact that Mike doesn't love a BLT isn't filling enough for him. But we've solved that problem. We have a BLT. The DBLT has chicken on it, so it's a more filling BLT. And we just tasted tonight. It was very good. I couldn't have priced this any better myself if I had any input. I did not have input, but it is $6.99. $6.99. That's the exact price I would have put on there if I had a choice, and that is a bargain for what you get. And what do you got, Mike?
Well, the DBLT, it is chicken, but it's like a fried crispy chicken, so it's really good. So the other menu item are the Would You Rather wings. We're named after our segment Would You Rather. It is my own wing sauce that I gave to her to use. She liked it. She put it on the menu. The wings are barbecue wing with a little bit of kick, a little smoky flavor, a little sweet, a little tangy. If you want to get them Mike style, I like to dip them in wing dust and then in ranch, extra crispy. So I always get them well done. The Would You Rather wings, they're my favorite right now.
They're phenomenal. And Mike, would you say that this is Mike's special sauce?
I would say it's Mike's special sauce. It is a big hit with Mrs. Divine, my wife, not my mom, and she loves this sauce.
Thank you for clarifying that it's your wife who loves Mike's special sauce, Mike. Again, you can get those at Amelie's. Oh wow, it's just mass confusion in your family. I can tell. Again, that's the Would You Rather wings and the new chicken DBLT on the menu. Mike, does Amelie's also have a special for anybody who calls right now and mentions the Sour Plums podcast?
Yep, call and mention the podcast, and you will get 20% off your order.
Wow, that's great. And again, the more you order, the more money you save, right? So, got a big party coming up. Call Amelie's, order their pizza. Was phenomenal. My kids tried it. The crust is amazing. Might have been the best crust I've tasted in a long time on a pizza. It's very good. So, my entire family approves of the menu. So, give them a try. And I'd also like to thank our 3 other sponsors that have been with us from the beginning. Thank you to Tresco Concrete, Continental Comb, and the Jen Masco Real Estate Team. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com. And before we go to Plum Problems, I did want to mention that my son did get a cut at Continental Comb last weekend, and he said, Dad, I'd like to go back there again. So thank you to Justin at Continental Comb. Did a great job on his hair, and he's very happy. And we were quick in and out, 15, 20 minutes. It was great. So check him out.
Let's jump into some Plum Problems. Before we do that, can I kick it over to Alan real quick? Alan, can we get your take on the sandwich? Oh, wait, Alan's not here. Hold on. So, slacking the night. All right. Actually, he just texted. He said he'll be here soon. So
doing dad things.
Exactly. All right, jumping in. If I said I wasn't giddy like a 14-year-old girl at a New Kids on the Block contest to talk or a concert to talk about this one, I'd be lying.
What do you got?
I've been waiting for something to happen that I could kind of go off on.
Mm-hmm.
This past Tuesday night, you and I were both in the audience at the school board meeting. Long time coming, long overdue. One of our school board members was censured. And for
censured or censored?
Censured.
Okay, great to know.
I feel a Kraemer hammer coming on with this one.
You know, stop. Kraemer hammer time. Really quickly, just to let people know that censured and censored are very different things. I was reading about this, and I thought this is the simplest way to explain it to people on our show. To be censored is to be stopped from saying something. To be censured is to be reprimanded after you've said it or taken other actions that you should be reprimanded for. And that's what happened here. Censured. Nothing has changed. He's not removed from the board, the school board member, although I think you and I will agree he should resign after his continued antics for whatever, 2 years now, however long it's been, 2 or 3 years. And, I don't want to steal that from you, but I do want to plug something, Mike. I'm going to start having these official Kraemer hammer stickers that are going to be coming out. We're going to pass these out to anybody who mispronounces words in public when we see them. So if you'd like those, let us know on our page how many you'd like. Let's say up to 5 or 10. I'll give them to you, and you can stop people in the public and say, stop Kraemer hammer time, and pass them out. And if you take a picture with them, we'll post it to our Facebook page. All right, back to you, Mike.
All right, so you just described what the difference is between censored and censured. And at the end of the day,
welcome, Plum.
At the end of the day, when you censure someone, it doesn't do anything to them, right? They still have all their powers as a board member. They still have their ability to vote, turn their microphone on with that easy button to push and start speaking. They have full right as a board member. What it is, it's a public display from the rest of the board to say, we wholeheartedly disagree with your actions, your comments, whatever it may be, that brought a censure on. It's a formal disapproval from the rest of the board. It's a big deal. And this has been talked about for 2.5 years now, almost since day one when this board member came on board. And he has been nothing but a waste of time, energy, and resources in this district. It is unfathomable that there are apologists out there for him still defending him after everything he's done. I don't want to hear anybody tell me how great of a teacher he was. That's fine. He was a good teacher, and I said good on purpose, not great. He was a good teacher, but he did connect with students. But the more you talk to him, the more you see his narcissistic ways and what he does. I can't begin to tell you. If we would go through the daily log of the superintendent and his assistants and everybody else in that district who gets paid by taxpayer dollars and log out the amount of time they've spent re-explaining the things that he was explained in orientation, answering the same questions over and over and over again. It is unbelievable how many taxpayer dollars he's wasted. These are salaried employees who have a job to do to move this district forward, and they are wasting time and energy on this man. He has literally done nothing in his 2.5 years. From the time I was on the board, and I'll give a quick story, knowing what I know, and I can't go into a lot of detail about what I know, but knowing what I knew about him, he came onto the board, and I already didn't like him, and I've never hidden that, and I went at him pretty hard, and I'm not even sorry I did. But at one point, I was told you're going really hard at him, and I said, all right, I'll take a step back, and you know what? And then I kind of felt, let me give him the benefit of the doubt, and I reached out to him, and we had a 1 hour conversation, and I said, you know, I'm at tryouts right now. I have to go work with these kids, but I'll call you back later. That callback was 3 additional hours. 4 hours we spoke on the phone.
Wow.
And a lot of it, looking back, a lot of it was him crying victim, like he always does.
Mhm.
And a lot of it was how he has no respect and nobody works with him and everything else. And I said, you know what? I'll work with you. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But I'm telling you right now, if you come back and this bites me in the ass, you're done to me. I'm here for not only my kids' education, but the education of the other 3,500 kids in this district.
Yeah.
And he said no. He's like, and I said, all right, I will help you. Give me something, test me out. What do you want? And he said, we had just released the new school board calendar to vote on that calendar. I think we had like one meeting in January, one in June, and one in August or something like that, and none in July. This is the hill he was going to die on. He wanted more school board meetings. He wanted the public to have more access to us, which is fine. I said, you know what? Honestly, I think it's a waste of time because there's not a lot going on in those months. There's a reason there's only one meeting, but I'll push for it.
Mhm.
I have clout with the school board, with the other members. I'll push for it. Got him exactly what he wanted. We had 3 out of the 4 meetings. We agreed to keep July open unless we had to, because that's when administrators knowingly take vacation. It was 2 weeks later. We got that passed. He got what he wanted. 2 weeks later, he went back to his old ways. He went back on his word, and that was it. I was done. After he spoke at that meeting about having more meetings on the calendar, he's done nothing. He's turned his microphone on to say here when they call for roll, and he's turned his microphone on to say yes or no when he votes. He purposely waits for times that he is not supposed to speak because he's either the dumbest man alive because he doesn't understand policy yet and procedure, or he's the smartest man alive because he does it at a time to make it look like he was shut down and can't speak. And I'm pretty sure he does it on purpose because when one of the things that keeps coming up is the current president, he asked if he could speak during her monthly report, and she said no because it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time to speak about whatever it is he wanted to speak about. And then they got to that point in the meeting, and he didn't turn his microphone back on. Conveniently, didn't turn it on, and then he went out and told everybody I was silenced again.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier, you alluded to the fact you called us. You said we were in the audience the other night at the school
Mhm.
meeting, and it was like it was theatrics. It was like we were a crowd at a show, and seeing it in person for the first time, hearing about it was one thing. Sitting there front row, as close as I possibly could be to the scene, was mystifying. The school board member who was censured couldn't look up at anybody who was speaking, whether they were a board member or a member of the community that was, you know, crying over something that was affecting them personally. He couldn't be bothered to look up one time. He doesn't respect the people of this community. He doesn't respect the people he works with. He doesn't respect this district. I don't think he respects himself. He's narcissistic, but he doesn't respect anything about the process. He does not belong in the job. And I think the school board is correct for recommending that he resign. And frankly, while we're at it, there's another school board member who is also votes his way every time. And to me, if that school board member is unable to see what's going on, maybe she can't serve in this role either. So I think 2 members of the school board right now should resign.
Yeah, and if you pay attention, neither one of them have any idea what's going on at any meeting at any time, unless they have it written down that somebody else gave them to say. They have no clue. If you would just stop them on the street and ask them specifically what they're talking about, they are clueless. So, I mean, I'm over it. In the paper, there's 2 articles out now, one with the Trib, one with the Post Gazette,
Mhm.
and I think they're pretty much the same article. I think the Post Gazette took a lot from the Trib. The guy from the Trib was there, sitting right behind us, actually, but the school board calls for his resignation. And at this point, if you remember in the meeting, he said some things, and then the solicitor and the superintendent stepped in and said, you just asked us behind closed doors if you could say this, and it is a violation of the Sunshine Act that you cannot say it, and you came out here and purposely said it. I don't know if
Yeah.
people realize that opens this district up to a tremendous lawsuit. If I was the superintendent, I'd have walked out of that meeting, called my lawyer, and said, it's payday, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
I think Rick has a little bit more integrity than that. I don't know if he will. If he does, I wouldn't blame him. But that's that's something that'll be a private matter between him and the board, or him and even this board member directly. So if you want to know where your tax dollars are going, they're going down the shitter.
That's it. That's exactly where they're going. And I mean, it's a shame that we've spent 6 or 7 episodes now probably mentioning the school board member at least on half, if not more, of the episodes. It's because it's dysfunction. He's dysfunctional. He's detrimental to the school district, and it's disgusting. And if you have kids in here, if you pay taxes in this district, you should be ashamed of it. And I don't want to hear about 7,000 votes or whatever. You know how people stand up for 3 people come to those meetings. It's the same 3 people that stand up and talk about him. It's the same 6 or 7 apologists online, the keyboard warriors who stand up for him, and none of them have a spine. Not one of them.
I found out tonight that one of the audience members that did speak on his behalf went up to somebody after the meeting and said, I wish we could have had a chance to speak at the end of the meeting after we heard him speak and what you all had to say, because I would have taken everything back that I said about him. So people are starting to come around. Yeah.
Wow.
And to quote one of my favorite movies of all time, Varsity Blues, he's not worth the Charmin Extra Fresh he wipes his butt with. Let's go.
On that lighter note, let's hit one more quick plum problem, Mike. What do you got? You got one more, right?
All right. So we've talked about this several times. The new Sheetz is open. So I think in the business world we talk about grows and glows, right? So what are good things? What are bad things about it? So we'll start with the good things. I have a couple good things. Brand new facilities, clean. I love Sheetz. I think it's awesome. It is. It looks to be the new design that if you go to a new Sheetz anywhere on a road trip between here and I don't know, as far as Cincinnati now, I think it's a very sleek look. I love the way it looks. And any glows for you? Anything you want to throw out there about it?
I mean, it's new. I'm like, I've mentioned this since it was starting up. At the end of the day, I mean, it's nice. It's new. It's got the seating. It's much better than the eyesore that the old Kings was there. I'll say that. But as my son mentioned, as we walked out of the Sheetz for the first time, he's like, Dad, it's still everything that was in the old Sheetz, just newer. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's still Sheetz food. It's still snacks. It's still slushies, milkshakes, cigarettes, shitty cigars, and it's still gas. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So that's at the end of the day, it's still a Sheetz, and I like Sheetz. But man, as a community of almost 30,000 people, there've got to be more exciting things than a new gas station, right?
It's still Plum.
It is still Plum.
Right, so I have 2 grows.
Okay.
Sorry, grows. Well, actually, I don't know if this is a grow, but I've been there.
I don't know how you're talking about with grows and glows right now. I'm confused.
I've been there about a dozen times since it opened the last 2 weeks. The Exxon across the street. What's the over under on when it closes down? I haven't seen a car there yet. Every time I've gone there,
No?
Why would you go? Why would you go there?
I mean, only way I would go there is if you're trying to avoid, and if it's full, if Sheetz is full and you're trying to avoid it, you're like, oh, I had to go get gas, and now I don't have an option. At least you have another option.
Right.
That's kind of a backup.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get some residual, right? Residual business, maybe.
Yeah, maybe people are really violently opposed to Sheetz for some reason, and they're just going to go there. But
they hate Steve Sheetz. Just hate him.
Yeah. I haven't seen them yet. The other thing, when you come in off of Presque Isle, they got to fix that grate, that sewer grate. Storm. I mean, I was airborne the one time. Like I probably could have gone slower, but it is not put in the ground very well. And you coming down and you hit that, and I'm pretty tall. I hit my head off the roof a couple times already. Off the ceiling.
I can tell you, when you turn onto Presque Isle from 286, and then you turn left behind the Sheetz into the entryway there.
Yeah.
And there's cars coming down Presque Isle that are going faster than they should because I live here. I know there are going to be quite a few accidents there, quite a few T-bones. So, I mean, it's Sheetz. It's great to have something new. It's definitely becoming a place for teens to loiter at. So I guess that brings me back to my teenage days. I mean, we don't have a lot of places to loiter at in Plum, so I guess that's good for them.
Yeah. We used to go to Taco Bell in Monroeville, and there's like a car show there of shitty cars. So
now, overall, it's a positive though. It's good. It's a win for the community.
And look who decided to start joining us tonight. Alan's here.
Big Cat 69, or is it 23? Big Cat 23. Sorry, Alan.
Listen, never. Okay, I was a starter. Okay, I didn't wear 69. And in my high school, if you wore 69, you were third row on the bench. You know, just being funny. No, it's 58 all through high school. Starter, 6 years, captain.
They finally let basketball play 6 years of high school.
That's a long time.
Well, you know, Riverview 7 through 12. So I played 6.
Okay, so was my high school. Yeah. Thanks for making it, Alan. I appreciate you making it tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for skirting out of your job for the first half of the show.
The lights went out on Field 5, so games postponed. 2 very good Plum teams were playing tonight.
All right,
lights go out. I smell. Listen, I smell a little like sabotage. That light went out when we were starting to have some momentum there, and I'm not saying anything about the other team. I don't know who was involved, but I think someone splashed some water on the circuit breaker. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone right now, and that's exactly why my phone was blowing up. The lights are out. Can we get them fixed? So, all right, Drew, tell us what's good in the hood.
Well, Mike, I'm excited to have on the show tonight our first current Plum athlete. Riley Stephans is a sophomore softball and basketball player at Plum Senior High School. She averaged over 13 points per game in hoops this past winter and pitched an amazing 4 no-hitters this spring. We wanted to find out her secrets to athletic success and learn more about her plans for the future. Riley, thank you for joining Sour Plums.
Hi.
So congratulations on a great softball season that included a playoff berth. You know, I know it ended a little sooner than you and your teammates would have liked with the first round playoff loss, but the journey still had to be a lot of fun for you. What was your most memorable moment from this softball season?
If I had to say, it was definitely that last game. I mean, even though we were losing, I mean, it was still like between us scoring like 3 runs in the last inning, it was the most we've ever, like, it was the loudest we've ever been, and it was like the most fun that we've had. And I think just the environment of like being in the playoffs was just so much better and everything. And I think that was the most fun I've ever had this year.
Now, was that your first playoff game? Did you make the playoffs last year, or is this first one for you?
Yeah, we made playoffs last year too.
You did? Okay. So you had a lot of fun with the playoffs. That's obviously the goal. The goal's a little more than that, I'm sure. But that's really exciting for you. Now, I've been following the season quite a bit, and Mike's updated me as well as it's gone on. And I made a joke on one of our episodes, like the last episode, you had 3 no-hitters. And I said, by the time she's on our show, she'll probably have 5. But you did have another one, right? So you had 4 no-hitters on the season, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. What does that mean to you personally? And can you walk us through your thoughts as you kind of get deeper into games when you're throwing a no-hitter? Like, do you get nervous? Do you like kind of buckle down and say, I got this. I'm going to take care of everything. What goes through your mind when you're throwing a no-hitter?
I mean, honestly, I didn't even know I had 4. Like, I thought I only had 2. Like, my dad does not tell me everything. Like, he tries to keep my ego and everything, like, ground level and everything, which I'm very glad that he does that. I mean, obviously, I think I had a couple walks in them, but, like, whenever I did that, I would just, like, collect myself. I would take a few steps, take a few seconds, and just collect myself. And I would just, like, breathe and just throw it as fast as I can, and whatever pitch was called, I would just throw it.
You brought your dad up because I talk to your dad every time I see something on Facebook or Twitter or whatever that you had a no-hitter or 20, 25 points in a game. I'll text him and say, hey, Riley had a great game, and he goes, yeah, she missed a 3-pointer here or whatever. I'm sure he keeps you grounded. And like a good dad, he wants to make sure that you focus on something that you can still improve on. And but I think he's really proud of you. I can see in his voice and hear it in his voice when he talks about it. He's really proud of you.
That's good to know.
That's Dad's job, and I can tell you're grounded. Me, if I was throwing no hitter, I would know it, right? And I would be when that last pitch, I would be fired up. I'd probably run in the opposing team's dugout. I don't recommend that, but that's just me. That's my ego. But it's good to see that you're grounded and you're just doing your job out there.
Yeah.
You're not just a one sport athlete though, right? So
Right,
can you
yeah.
tell us a little bit more about, the basketball success you've had at, your first 2 seasons at the varsity level.
Well, last year, I think being a freshman, like, messed with me a little. Like, I was definitely, like, nervous a lot more last year than this year. I don't know, I just felt like I was more, I just felt like I belonged more this year. I don't know why, it's, like, weird, but I just feel like I had more control this year than I did last year.
Like you're the new kid on the block last year, and this year you were more of a leader.
Yeah.
But wait, so you were nervous. I think, was it your first game? You had a buzzer beater to win the game, right?
Yeah.
From like half court.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh, that's right. That was you.
yeah.
You're so modest. I'd be showing the highlight right now. I'd be popping it up on the screen. Look at this, guys.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking of doing volleyball next year, so I'm gonna.
I know a really good volleyball player if you need any tips.
Okay, I will.
Are you talking about yourself, Mike?
Maybe.
He's also not very modest. This is not the most modest. This is a show where you don't need to be modest, Riley.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell us. So let me ask you about that, because I have a son who's going to be a freshman. He'll be a basketball player. Just hurt his ankle tonight. We think we dodged a bullet and it's not fractured, but that's not the point. Where he realized at the first practice that it was about the speed of the game, how different it is when you're an 8th grader trying to play against 4 grades now. It's not just against your grade anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of what you dealt with as a freshman. How do you balance those? You're adding another sport. How do you balance those two sports out in terms of off seasons? Do you have off seasons, or do you kind of work on everything throughout the year at different times? How do you balance those two things?
Well, this year I focused on whatever season I was in. Last year I focused on softball in basketball season, because softball's like my main sport. Like, I do travel softball, and I don't do AAU for basketball, so I was like trying to focus more on softball. But this year I noticed that, like, I was getting more comfortable with basketball and everything, so I figured I might as well work more on my game on basketball because it's in season. So then I didn't touch a softball till, I think, tryouts. So yeah.
It's tough though, right? I mean,
It is, yes.
You want to be good at both things, and it's hard to go months without at least honing your craft a little bit and working on it. Yeah. But you say you lean towards softball then? That's primary?
I have, yeah.
So I'll ask you the question, then I'll tell you what other people said. If you had to pick which sport you're better at, which would you say?
Well, this year, I don't know, actually. That's like a tough question, because I had a rough season in travel ball last year. I don't know, like, I hurt my hand. My hand got all swelled up and everything, so then that took me out of the game for like 2-3 weeks, a month, and it was like I got 2 more tournaments left by the end of the season, and I wasn't like in the game. Like, I was a little rusty, and I just like was struggling. And then basketball came around, and I picked up the ball, and it kind of just like clicked. So I don't know. I think this year it was probably basketball. Last year it was probably softball.
All right. Well, I asked your dad, and I asked Mr. Carpin, and your dad said without hesitation, he said softball.
Yeah.
And Drew thought about it for a second, and then he said, "I'm going to go with softball," and that's saying a lot because she's a hell of a basketball player. So just so you know where they're coming from.
Yeah, I figured my dad's my coach, so for softball. So yeah,
So that's the way he leans too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to coach with him when your younger sister Hannah was back in T-ball. I think T-ball in the first year of softball. Yeah, and we coached together, and my daughter's Hannah's age, so we've been.
Oh, okay.
You probably don't remember me, but I've known you for a long time. You just probably don't remember me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm forgettable. It's okay.
Mike's very forgettable. I've learned that too. I forget that he's my co-host every week. I forget. Yeah.
I remember now.
So Riley, I wanted to ask you 2 things before I go, at least. I'm not sure if Mike has any more questions, but as it relates to goals, let's talk about team goals first. What would you like to see your teams achieve over the next 2 years? You got 2 years left in high school, right? And
Yeah.
what would you like to see your softball and basketball teams achieve? What are your goals that you see for everyone?
Well, softball, I would definitely want to win a playoff game. Last year, we lost off of a walk-off home run, and it was the worst feeling ever. Like, I just felt like I didn't belong in softball anymore, and it crushed me for a couple weeks. But then I figured, just gotta work on my game and hope it doesn't happen again, and I can work on it and improve that. And then basketball, we won a playoff game last year, but I think basketball is to win the section because we haven't done that this year or last year.
Those are good goals. Those are lofty goals, but you gotta have goals to strive for, right? And I kind of want to get a sense for what you foresee for your future. Like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what are your personal goals the next couple of years? And let's talk about, even maybe beyond high school. What are you thinking about?
My personal goals probably is I just want to be, for basketball, I want the younger girls to just look up to me as a leader, and just to see me as a role model and everything. And then softball, obviously I want the same, but I want to work on my game overall all year. And it's hard with basketball and everything, but softball, I want to work on it more, and basketball, but softball's a lot different.
I'm sorry. I can tell you have two little girls in this house that look up to you. They love coming to the basketball games. We haven't made it out to many softball games this year, but ton of basketball games. And somehow Penny, my third grader, got into a group chat with a couple of the girls in the basketball team, and she's like, look, they're sending me messages. I'm like, why are you in that on Snapchat with them? But they love you guys. So and Lily sees the 3-pointers you take, and we get to the gym. And the first thing she does, she's like, I'm making 3-pointers. I want to be like Riley.
Aw.
That's great.
Aw.
So what about beyond high school, Riley? Do you have any dreams or goals, or what do you see for yourself in the future?
I really have not given that a thought. Obviously it would be nice to get Division I offers and everything. But if I don't, then I guess I don't. But that's the goal. But I want to play. I just don't, because I want to be an orthodontist, and that's a lot of schooling. So
yeah,
it's really busy. But I want to try and balance it.
Hey, you got to dream big, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can always adjust.
Yeah. You're right.
And maybe when you get to college, Sour Plums to take off, we'll be making money, and you can get your first NIL deal with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We dream big too.
Yeah.
Mike's dreaming really big.
Yeah. That's funny.
We're just trying to get to our 500th follower on Facebook, and we're 2 away. Yeah. So tell your friends, Riley.
I will.
Riley Stephans, everyone. Riley, thank you for joining us on Sour Plums. We wish you continued success in all that you do, academically and athletically.
Thank you.
Mike, what's the Would You Rather this week?
This one is a classic. I think this is probably one of the first Would You Rathers that a lot of people have talked about, and I've been kind of saving this one to figure out a good night to bring it on. But would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
To me, that was an easy one, and I'm probably going to find out I'm wrong. But for me, it was 100 duck-sized horses. And here's Alan's super surprised by that, I think. I saw his face. I can't believe it. No, I think to me that's easy. What's a horse's biggest strength? Kicking you, right?
Kicking, yeah.
Right? So take that horse down to an average duck size, and I'll do the kicking. Thank you. Yeah, they can come at me.
Ducks like that
one
big.
At a time. I'll kick them like a football. See the horses go, right? I don't want a horse-sized duck. You know how mad and mean those ducks, geese, swans can get? A regular-sized duck could attack me and I'd run crying. A horse-sized duck? Imagine that. It could take my head off. So easily for me, 100 horse-sized ducks. No, duck-sized horse.
Try
ducks
it again.
Are dicks.
Ducks are, get that on a shirt. Ducks are dicks, Parlo. Ducks are dicks.
They're little assholes. Could you imagine a wingspan on a horse-sized duck. Seriously, and that thing flaps one time, and you're done for.
You're done.
Yeah,
You're right. Do we agree?
Listen. I'm with you. I'm putting steel-toed boots on, and I am going Jeff Reed on these ducks.
Jeff Reed and his Sheetz. Don't let him visit the new Sheetz. We want to maintain a nice looking bathroom in Sheetz.
It's a good one.
You guys have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. I won't even tear your argument apart yet, Drew.
I wouldn't expect you to be able to.
I'm gonna fight a horse-sized duck. Their wing flap. You think their wing flap's gonna blow you away? Did I hear somebody say that?
It's gonna knock you out. That's a big wing.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been around horses? Horses are dicks. Horses will bite you. They'll kick you. And 100 of them, you're gonna get through. You're gonna get into it with 3, and you're gonna get stampeded. They're gonna stampede you.
They're gonna be up to my knee.
Not even.
But there's 100 of them. There's 100. They're gonna.
How are you? Okay, that's fine. Okay, Alan, you can be wrong, but I want to know why you're wrong even more. How are you going to handle a duck?
I think I could take on a duck. I think they might have the beak. I feel like the beak, the neck stab beak, they'll be their main attack. And I think I could get in a headlock. I think I could get my arm around there.
You're underestimating.
They don't have any hands. They don't have any hands.
The girth of a neck of a duck that's the size of a horse.
They don't. I could get my hand. I think I could get a headlock around a horse. I think
I'm going to get you a life-sized horse.
A life-size horse. Get that on a shirt.
Just to show you.
I ride a life-size horse.
He shows up late. He's all wrong. He's got wrong opinions.
Listen, much like the odds. Fields, much like the Burrow Fields tonight, you get into a fight with a duck-sized horse, and your lights out.
Oh, I guess.
We got to end it on that. That was, Mike, I got to give you credit. That was really good.
That was good.
In the biz, we call that a callback.
That was good.
Continental Cone Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com. So just a reminder that if you call Ameli's Pizzeria and mention the Sour Plums podcast, you get 20% off any order. So the more you order, the more money you save. And don't forget to try our new Chicken DBLT and the Would You Rather wings. All right, I'm really excited for this next segment. It's Blind Rankings, which we know is probably our most popular segment on the show. But making it even better tonight is that we have Jaime Caliguiri and John Kraemer on here. They are the winners of our Pirates Wins contest that we hosted on Facebook. I wasn't sure how that would go, but we had a lot of responses, and they nailed it. What they have, 14 wins in April, by the end of April?
Correct.
All right. So, hi, John.
Hi. How you doing, Drew?
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Just you in Plum, where are you, John?
I am in Plum. Moved out here 40 years ago, grew up in the city, married a girl from PT, and we split the difference and ended up in Plum. And recently retired, and also 11 weeks ago got a new aortic valve. Lived my whole life with a birth defect and found out in January. So
hey, you're in good company. I have the same thing. Good company.
Oh, there you go.
I'll
take your word for it, though, that it's a good company.
How are you feeling? You doing all right?
Great. Feel great. Rehab's going really well, and can't wait to get back on the golf course.
Yeah.
I can tell you it does not help your golf game at all.
I'm sure it won't.
And we have a stranger also on the show, Jaime Caliguiri. I'm not familiar. Could you tell us a little about yourself, Jaime?
Hi, Drew. Yeah, we've never met. I'm also in Plum, but of course you know that because my address was posted online a few years ago. Yeah, I'm here.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for competing in the contest, and congratulations on the big win. So this is Blind Rankings, everybody. Yeah, of course. Everybody
Dreams
knows blind
do come
rankings.
true.
Dreams do. Hey, I was thinking about that earlier today
Dreams do
when
come true.
when I saw the chicken DBLT on a Millie's menu, a menu item named after me. I thought, dreams can come true if you live long enough and you start a podcast that pisses off half the town every other week. I think dreams can come true. So,
There you go.
I said, Jamie, just so you know, Drew only wanted to have one guest on. He picked John. I said, no, we have to bring Jamie on too.
Thank you, Mike. I did want to mention, if you don't mind, while I enjoyed sitting next to you on Tuesday night, you did not share your popcorn.
I was hungry.
that was a nice touch, Mike. All right, so blind rankings. Everybody knows what blind rankings are. Mike picks a category. He lists 5 things separately, one at a time. We rank them blindly, one at a time, before we know the next one. 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. And again, it's blind. We do not know what's next, so our rankings could be skewed by the end and not what we want them to be at all. But here, we're going to do a rapid fire. We'll get all of us involved. And thank you again, John and Jamie, for joining us. Let's do this, Mike.
We had a real athlete on tonight that we interviewed earlier in the show. Tonight's blind ranking is fictional athletes from movies or TV shows.
Oh, that's fun. Fictional athletes. All right.
Okay.
So I will leave this up to you if you want to rank them based on the movie, based on how good of an athlete they were in the movie, the impact they had in their sport, and you'll kind of see where we're going with this.
Okay.
But the first one here, we'll start with Drew. Happy Gilmore.
Oh, that's hard, Mike. I gotta see how I'm coming at this, because as a movie, funny, hilarious, loved it. As an athlete, I'm just gonna think, what, did I like the athlete himself? And Happy Gilmore, I'm gonna settle at 3. I liked him, but I think there's going to be some characters in here that I liked even more. But I really loved Happy Gilmore, and especially the Bob Barker scene. It's one of my all-time favorites. So I'll sit right in the middle at 3.
This is a tough one. I never, ever do this. I never start out this strong because my husband and I play along every week, but I think I have to go number 1. I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. He started out as a hockey player. We are a hockey family. I'm going number 1.
Wow.
That's
coming on strong.
big.
Okay, I was going to go with 3, but since Drew took 3, I feel like I don't want to copy him. And
John, you're welcome to copy me if you want to be right.
Good one.
I would say the opposite.
Thanks. But I love the movie, love Sandler, but I'm going to put him at number 4. And before I'm done, I forgot to say hello to my wife, Debbie. So, hi, Deb.
Oh, that's nice.
I tend to forget to say hi to her at times like this. So, she was a great nurse over the last 2 months. So, hi, Deb.
Oh, that's a very nice touch. Hi, Deb.
I had my number in my head, and I was trying to go differently than everybody, but I can't. I'm gonna have to go with Drew with 3.
Well done. What's next, Mike?
The second one, Rocky Balboa.
I'm not the biggest Rocky guy in the world. I know Big Cat's gonna bring it number 1 here. I'm gonna put Rocky at 4. No, you know what? I'm gonna put Rocky at 5. I know everybody's looking at me, and I know I'm getting. This is what's going to kill me this week on the Facebook page. But Rocky's at 5 for me. I didn't find it that enjoyable. I don't know.
And Drew's no longer right, just so you know, John. You don't have to copy him anymore.
I wasn't going that way anyway.
All right, Jamie.
Number 2. I might be going right down the line this week. I'm a big Rocky fan.
I like that.
Okay, I'm going to put Rocky at 2 also. I have one of my brother-in-laws. When he needs a mental health day, he watches all the Rocky movies back to back to back back to back, I guess. So, yeah, I got to go with Rocky. I was the right age when that came out. You guys saw it 20 years later. If you were back in the mid 70s, it was a phenomenal movie. Rocky was great, even though it was in Philadelphia.
It could be the one thing that saved Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Alan, Big Cat.
I'm going to put Rocky at 4. Rocky 4 is my favorite, so I feel like that's honoring his athleticism. I think he did a lot of work, like, on his own to get where he went. Like, I don't think he had any help, really. Like, besides one trainer in a gym, and kind of did it all on his own. That's a really commendable. But I don't know what he did for overall boxing, but for himself, he really did.
That was the most
big.
That was the most glowing review you could have given a number 4 ever.
It's top
Like-
5. There's nothing to slouch at here.
In the scene where he's punching the big slab of beef, would you say nobody beats the meat like Rocky?
I don't know. Drew, what do you think?
I would say that, but that's just that's how I roll.
I wouldn't say that. Not especially not in front of a lady, but
We made John choke, so.
Third one on the list, Adam Banks from the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, this is in my wheelhouse. This is what I grew up with. The Mighty Ducks. Those movies still give me chills when I watch them as an adult. Adam Banks, number 1 for me. Just nostalgic purposes. Absolutely. And Jamie, this is hockey. Come on, Jamie. This is hockey. Let's do it together. You already screwed up.
I don't know. I'm gonna go 4. I do
4.
love the Mighty Ducks, but it's not my favorite. And I think my love for Adam Sandler still outweighs it all. So I'm going 4.
All right, Adam Banks, no doubt, redeemed himself in the second half of the movie. You know, you got to give him that. But I'm sticking him at number 3, going right in the middle with him.
Okay.
And
Are you a movie guy, John?
I do like to watch movies. Ever since COVID, I think I've seen everything on Netflix twice. So, and most of them are bad.
That's fair.
All right, Big Cat.
He's late again.
no, I just had to look up something. Adam Banks is 5 in my book. He's not better than Charlie Conway in my book. But whatever.
He's definitely not the leader. Adam Conway is.
No.
Charlie Conway.
Charlie Conway. Yeah. And what was Fulton? Was Fulton the knuckle puck guy?
He was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Fulton
liked
was
him.
fun.
Yeah. Adam Banks.
No.
I don't know. Adam
Fulton
Banks.
No, it was Fulton was the enforcer. The knuckle puck guy was the guy from Saturday Night Live now. What's his name?
No, Fulton Reed was the knuckle puck guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Alan, you have to fact check this one before the
All
end
right,
of the show.
fact check it.
And I don't think the SNL guy. I don't think that was that the same guy? Are you thinking the same? Right?
Keenan. Is Keenan?
Was he? I don't think that was him. Was he in it? Was he
He's
in
the goalie.
the second one?
He's the second one. He's the
Oh,
goalie. He's
the knuckle puck. What? You're right.
Fulton was knuckle
Shit.
puck into the briefcase. I
Wait,
used to
yeah.
reenact that scene. Am I?
Not gonna say it again, Mike.
Drew,
You missed
Drew,
it.
can
You
say
missed
again.
it. No.
All right, Big Cat. Put that in twice whenever you edit this.
Okay. Gosh.
All right. Fourth one on the list. Ricky Vaughn. Wild Thing.
Oh, I got to go too with Ricky Vaughn. In reality, from a character in a movie perspective, I would have put him at 1 over Banks, but I'll go 2 since it's what I got left. 2 and 4. 2. That character is Wild Thing is one of the best sports characters of all time. Somebody that you really shouldn't root for, but you do because he's such a funny character in there. He's such a jerk. It's great. Yeah, number 2.
I have 3 and 5 left. So I'm probably going to go 3. I think he's a great character. You can't help but root for him.
I only have 1 and 5 left, and getting worried about who you're pulling out last. But, so I'm going to put Ricky Vaughn at number 1.
There it is.
Just the only reason is when they're in the playoffs and, or is it a 1-game playoff? I don't remember in the original movie. And he comes out of the bullpen and the owner says, "I hate this effing song." And that's what makes him number 1.
See, it's tough when you're trying to do blind ranking. You don't know
see
what's
why you
next.
say
You got to
2
predict.
You say
Yeah.
2 and 4. That's better than saving 1 and 5.
It's hard, yeah. I've learned a little bit of strategy. I still get killed by the community for my takes, but it's okay.
Well, because you're usually wrong.
We're learning that.
All right, Big Cat.
I'm going to put him at number 2. A great player, great athlete, great personality. I'm hoping for something this last one. That's all I got.
You ready for the last one?
Sure.
So, generally speaking, the last one I usually give you a standout or a dud, right? It's usually not somebody that you would put at 3. We're going standout this time. Daniel LaRusso.
I got to go 5. I mean, I don't have an option at this point.
No, you have 4 open.
Oh, 4. I got to go 4. And I guess it's better than going 5. I'd like to hear what everybody else says as it relates to where they have to put Daniel.
I have to put him at 5, and I love him. This breaks my heart. absolutely breaks my heart. How can you not get behind him? All those guys are bullying him, and then he comes out on top. You got to get behind him, but that's all I have left.
So let me ask this: if you had anything left, where would you have put him?
Honestly, I'd probably just shift everyone down and put him at 2. I'm still sticking with Happy Gilmore, but he would be my 2.
John.
Wow. Okay. Jaime, you say, how could you not love him? Did you not watch Cobra Kai, where the series where they show you that the good guy isn't a good guy and the bad guy isn't a bad guy? They're both a little of both. It's. I have no problem.
I didn't. My son loves Cobra Kai, but I did not watch it. I'm going with old school Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah, that was a great movie back
in the chopsticks
40 years ago. But he opened the car dealerships. He's a bit of a jerk, and I'm glad he's number 5.
He worked out.
Big cat.
At first, I was like, oh gosh, number 1. I never watched The Karate Kid growing up, but I did watch Cobra Kai, and all you'll hear from Cobra Kai is that the crane kick was illegal, but it was 100% legal. Okay. And it takes a lot to stand up to your bullies. And I don't find any excuses from Cobra Kai that was worth like picking on Daniel, putting him down, beating him up, and like older guys too, like grown men, like beating up a young kid. He had a lot of adversity. So he earned his spot at number 1.
So you're happy.
I couldn't be happier, Drew.
I couldn't be happier either. What's your 1 through 5, Mike?
Yeah, so this one, I actually changed my order a couple times on this because
I changed your mind.
No.
Oh.
No. I had already had them ranked, but as I was ranking them, I changed a few things around. So Rocky Balboa, number 1. I love the movies. Alan was spot on. Number 4 is the best. If you take 5 out of the mix altogether, and even put the later ones in, like the movie called Rocky Balboa, and then even the Creed movies, it is probably the best series of movies ever. I mean, they're all good. Like, take 5 out, they're all fantastic movies. I have Daniel LaRusso at 2. I watched The Karate Kid. When I'm sitting here at home working, I put it on sometimes. I like all the original Karate Kids. Not a big fan of the next Karate Kid, but the Karate Kid with Will Smith's son. What's his name? With him and
Jaden.
Jackie Chan.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah. Those are good. Cobra Kai. I love the show. Number 3, I have Happy Gilmore. I kind of struggled with him at 3 or 2, but I put him at 3. Fantastic movie. Did I hear they're coming out with not a remake, but like a sequel soon with him and Shooter?
I hope so.
That'd be great.
I thought I heard that. I don't know. Maybe I just made it up. Don't.
Please don't do that, Adam. If you're listening, don't do it. Leave a classic a classic. What's he gonna beat up Drew Carey?
He's gonna have to. Isn't Bob Barker dead?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
He'd be.
They could exhume him, I guess, but yeah.
Ricky Vaughn at 4 again. Yeah. When it comes to impact from an athletic standpoint in how they were to their team or to their to their dojo or whatever it was, Ricky Vaughn. I mean, it's hard to put him that low. It's probably the most respect I have for a number 4 that I've given. And then Adam Banks, easy number 5 here. He was a cocky son of a bitch. I wasn't a big fan of his. He was a hawk. To his core, he was a hawk. And hawks suck, whatever. Screw those guys.
I always forget you're older than me, so you were watching movies in the 70s. I wasn't.
All right, listen, I was born in 80.
Easy, Drew.
70s.
Sorry about that, Mike. So what'd you think, John? John and Jamie, what'd you think about doing this in person and for real? It's pretty tough, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's difficult, but it was fun. It was nice to meet you guys virtually anyway.
Yeah. You gonna listen to this episode, hopefully share it with your friends?
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm going to make sure my wife listens to it since I said hello to her.
That's right. Well, thank you, John.
What's up, Deb?
Yes. Hi to Deb. Deb or Debbie?
You can call her either.
Okay. Deb or Debbie. Thanks for listening. And make sure you keep listening and we maybe get you on here again in another contest.
Hey, that'd be great. When the Pirates were 11-6, neither one of us thought this was going to happen.
No, not at all.
It was
I didn't
quite the
even know
turnaround.
I was in the running.
That's why Mike didn't want you on the show, and he just wanted John. He just
Somebody's a troublemaker, I think.
You guys had me nervous. You broke my heart for a good 6 hours.
never. You're a loyal listener, Jamie. So
I'm a super fan.
You are a super fan. You have the blind rankings figured out by Sunday evening.
Absolutely.
I love that.
It is our Sunday evening ritual. Mike and I sit down in the kitchen, listen to the show, and play along.
Yeah, Jamie, John, thank you so much for joining us for blind rankings, and keep listening. Share with your friends. We've like 2 listeners away from 500 followers on Facebook, so share with your friends, and we'll get over that hump. We'll have another contest.
Well, maybe one more. Once Deb follows us, we'll have one more.
Yeah,
I think she already does, and
okay.
I've been listening too, and I really enjoy it. You guys have a great sense of humor, and it comes through.
Thank you, John. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me do this and for having the podcast. You too, big fan.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
We should be thanking you for letting 2 schmucks get on the get on a podcast and talk. So as long as we have people listening, we're having fun.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, John. Thank you, Jamie.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Mike, do you want to get into some voicemails? Do we have voicemails this week?
We have one.
Okay.
So
Let's cue it up and see what we got.
People Plum, Jim McBride, long-time listener, big fan. Couple things to address. First of all, the lies of my Christmas lights are getting out of hand. We'll continue to let you guys have this gig, but at the end of the day, I know come Christmas, Mike's lights will not be up or on, either or. Next, all the guys you listed for action stars, not one of them has taken down a megalodon shark, let alone multiple megalodon sharks in the second one. Unbelievable how you guys purposely let out the greatest action star ever, Jason Statham. I'd be ashamed if I was Mike, but, here we are. All right, Plum, thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Wow, Jimmy making it 7 for 7 on the episodes. How do you feel about that, Mike? I feel like he attacked you there.
I have permanent lights up now, so Jimmy can kiss my ass.
To put down your list and then to pull a name like Jason Statham, I mean, I don't think he's better than any of the guys on the list.
I don't think so either. That's my opinion on it. I don't have a great opinion on it, but that's my opinion on that. I mean, Jimmy just likes to cause trouble, and Jimmy likes to be wrong, but he also likes to be on our show. So, congratulations on your streak, Ripken.
Yeah, if he gives me shit about my Christmas lights this year, we're gonna fight.
Sour Plum's boxing match.
All right, let's move on to Plum shoutouts, Mike. I have one tonight. I don't know if you have any, but I have a really big one. On May 7th, the Plum Mustang Foundation awarded 10 $500 Plum Proud Awards to seniors, and there were also 3 awards of $3,500 each that were given through the McCann Scholarship Fund. I think that's a huge deal for the community and for the students of Plum, and it just kind of shows you the impact that the Plum Mustang Foundation is having on the community and continues to have. Again, it's the people in the community that are the doers in the community that actually don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk, and I'm proud to be part of that.
Yeah, so am I. It's you've been a part of it longer than I have. I'm a little bit newer, but it's been awesome to be on it. Whenever everything first started, I helped Mike recruit a lot of people, but I couldn't be on it because I was on the board, and now my time's up on the board. He got me on right away. I don't even think my seat was cold yet, and he said, "Hey, we need you." So I said, "All right, let's go." But the stuff that we're doing is awesome. I'm so honored to be part of it.
Thank you for listening to Sour Plums. Like this episode, subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, Spotify, or YouTube, and share if you care. I'm Drew Bartow.
I'm Mike Devine.
And we're out.